Most people don't lose their peace all at once, they lose it slowly by carrying things God never asked them to carry. The pressure, the fear, the constant need to figure everything out. And eventually, their mind becomes exhausted even while their faith still looks strong on the outside. The truth is, trusting God sounds easy, until life stops making sense. It's easy to say God is in control when everything is working out. But what about when prayers feel delayed? When doors close? When the future feels uncertain? That's where real trust begins. Because trusting God is not just believing He exists. It's believing He is still good even when you don't understand what He's doing. And when you finally reach that place, your life begins to change in ways you never expected. The first thing that changes is your mind becomes quieter. Before trusting God fully, your thoughts constantly race. You overthink conversations. You fear the future. You replay problems over and over trying to solve everything yourself. But Isaiah 26 verse 3 says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on you." That peace is different. It doesn't mean life suddenly becomes perfect. It means panic stops controlling you. You still face problems, but your mind no longer lives in constant chaos. Instead of carrying every burden alone, you begin bringing it to God daily. And slowly, the noise inside your head starts losing power. The second thing that changes is you stop forcing everything. A lot of people say they trust God, but still try to control every outcome, every relationship, every opportunity, every detail of the future. But real trust changes your posture. You stop chasing things that require you to lose your peace just to keep them. You begin to understand something powerful: if God has to force it into your life, it probably isn't from Him. So instead of living anxious and desperate, you become patient. You still work hard. You still take action. But deep down, you stop believing everything depends entirely on you. Proverbs 3 verse 5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." That verse becomes real when life doesn't make sense, and you choose to trust anyway. The third thing that changes is your fear of the future starts breaking. So many people are exhausted because they are mentally living in tomorrow. They keep asking, what if I fail? What if nothing changes? What if things fall apart? But Jesus said in Matthew 6 verse 34, "Do not worry about tomorrow." Why? Because God is already there. When you trust God completely, you stop treating the future like a threat. You begin walking forward with quiet confidence, knowing your life is not random. Even the seasons you don't understand are still being used for something greater. And honestly, that changes everything. The fourth thing that changes is your struggles stop feeling meaningless. Before, pain only looked like pain. Delays only looked like rejection. Hard seasons only looked like suffering. But trusting God changes the way you see difficulty. Romans 8 verse 28 says that God works all things together for good for those who love Him. That means even this season has purpose. You begin realizing that some of your hardest moments were actually shaping you. Building patience. Building wisdom. Building dependence on God. The struggle that once made you question God slowly becomes the reason your faith grows stronger. And one day you look back and realize, God was not abandoning you. He was preparing you. The fifth thing that changes is your relationship with God becomes real. Not performative. Not religious. Real. Because desperate seasons teach you how to depend on Him deeply. Prayer stops becoming something you only do during emergencies. It becomes your first response instead of your last option. You stop just knowing about God and start experiencing Him personally. You notice His guidance in small moments. His peace during stressful nights. His strength when your own strength runs out. And suddenly, faith becomes more than words. It becomes daily surrender. The sixth thing that changes is you finally start living lighter. So many people are emotionally exhausted because they were never meant to carry the weight they're carrying. The pressure to fix everything. control everything, understand everything. But trusting God teaches you something freeing. You do not have to carry what God already holds. And when that truth finally reaches your heart, something inside you relaxes. You breathe differently. You think differently. You stop living in survival mode. That doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you stop facing life alone. Listen carefully. Trusting God is not about having all the answers. It's about believing God is faithful even when answers don't come immediately. And sometimes the greatest act of faith is continuing to trust Him while nothing around you makes sense yet. So if you've been carrying fear, stress, pressure, uncertainty, maybe this is your reminder that you were never supposed to carry it all by yourself. Give it to God completely. Not halfway. Not occasionally. Completely. Because the moment you stop trying to control everything, maybe the moment peace finally enters your life. If this message spoke to you, comment, "God, I trust you completely." And if you want more messages that strengthen your faith, renew your mind, and help you walk closer with God every day, subscribe to Faith Harbor, because here, we don't chase fear. We build faith.